welcome back to Shop Talk.
Hi there, I'm Jax from Crazy Squirrel Game Store here in Fresno.
I'm Calvin from Next Gen Escape across from Crazy Squirrel Game Store in Fresno.
That's because this is the nerdiest corner in the city.
For
right?
now.
That's what I like to think about.
For now. I feel like eventually one day there will be a mega complex and we will recruit all the nerd businesses in store in the town.
That sounds amazing. I would
under
be down for
one location, one massive location. Like Herb Bauer used to be, except not one person, owning
Right.
everything.
That would be good.
That'd be sweet.
Well, last time we were talking about my experience at GAMA Expo, the annual tabletop game industry convention. But you've also been there, both as a retailer and as a publisher. How does the publisher end work on that?
So the publisher end was awesome. We got a table. We had a booth, and that was an experience learning with the whole ordeal. The first year, mind you, we were at Reno.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Much closer.
I really enjoyed Reno. How close that was for us. It was actually drivable. We didn't have to fly. And also there was a lot less pressure on us because we were just helping out our friend Tyler at the time. We weren't trying to make or break a business necessarily.
Yeah.
So it was a different experience altogether. And so the coordination of moving products across country to Kentucky was a lot more than I anticipated because we wanted to make sure that we had a good amount of product in case anybody wanted to purchase any, that we had some on hand. I had no idea what was going to be. I had to make sure that we had enough copies to give to any distributors in case they were interested. Really, we were just going to go at a shotgun approach and figure out what exactly was going to be the good fit because we had 4 games that I felt very confident in that somebody would want to purchase. And it definitely happened. We had retailers that purchased from us and we had a distributor, it was Bridge Distribution.
Oh yeah, I like Bridge.
Yeah, Bridge. They were really interested in working with us. It hasn't exactly panned through quite yet, but we have definitely kind of stalled progressing the board game business right now, Kiara and myself. Yeah. Because of political events, geopolitical events, as well as our business, our escape room just moved about a year ago, which definitely took our time and attention away from growing the online and card game business. So I don't know, we definitely I learned a lot from that. If we were to go again, I would probably have a different strategy in mind.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't regret going and learning everything that we did. It wasn't exactly as financially impactful as I was hoping a first-time publisher would be. Although I will say, I have seen other first-time publishers do worse.
Yes.
And I've seen other publishers do better with less.
Yeah.
For example, we thought that we would need a booth in order for it to really be successful, but a lot of the meetings I've had were outside of our booth entirely, and I feel like we could have saved a whole lot for it. I feel like the booths are not for the game publishers the level that I was at.
Yeah. If you're not selling, so the thing with a convention like Expo is that the customers there are typically retailers. So if you're actually there because you want to find distribution and other things, which I would imagine is very important to a publisher.
Very, very much. It was interesting for us.
Yeah, that's a whole different way of doing things. But I do think the year that you guys went, you came in and you looked very professional. And that's a good thing. I would imagine, I know for me, the first year I went to GAMA as a retailer, I didn't know which way was up in the world. I just had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what I was going to come out with. And my guess is that for you, it was very similar.
It was similar. When we set up shop, we didn't really know how people would come in. And honestly, the first couple hours of the show, we didn't get as many retailers like what you would do. You start in the back, we were near the back. Most people start in the front of the hall on the mosey their way in, and then they stop at each and every booth, almost, what it seems like.
Yeah.
All the popular ones. So I also had another friend who had a corner booth that was further in the back.
Yeah.
But he did awesome. He did amazing. And I haven't told it to his face, but his game products, I have not been too happy with the branding of it. But damn it, if they didn't sell and
Right.
people were buying it and people were down for it, and that was awesome to see. And I definitely think that we had a much more defined approach than what other first timers had.
Yeah.
I've seen several other publishers who had a single game.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of difficult to break through and make actual money on as a publisher if you only have a single product,
Yeah.
a single SKU that someone can purchase, because it's really either you like this game or not.
Right.
Whereas for us, we had a improv party game, we had a business pitching game, a poker playing game,
Yeah.
and a GM-less storytelling game. And all four of those were very, very unique and different. Didn't necessarily mean that all of our games are for everyone, but it definitely meant that for almost every retailer, there was one niche, there was one customer that they could see themselves buying that game and taking it home and having a good time. So we haven't made the Piece de Resistance game yet, and I think that's going to be the escape room game that we're working on right now. That game, I'm going to flood all of our attention, all of our finances on, trying to make that go big.
Yeah, I can see that.
Until then, the games that we have, I feel like they fulfill a very different need of not needing to be a flagship game. But I don't know that other publishers necessarily saw that with their games. They feel like their improv party game is the flagship game.
Right.
And it's tough because I know that game is going to last 20, 40 minutes, and then it might not see play for another few weeks.
Yeah.
It's not going to be something that hits the table every single day. And I feel like a lot of publishers make games and they put their heart and soul into their games, and they feel like it's going to be that forever game that someone has been looking for, but they didn't quite know is what they needed. And it's tough. It's tough to hit that margin.
And COVID changed a lot of the way gamers game. So before COVID, there were some single person games. You could occasionally find one or two. I think Final Girl might have come out. And then during COVID and post-COVID, single player games are really important. It's one of those things that are there. So party games suffered during COVID because you couldn't get together. So I think a lot of times, unfortunately for publishers, it is what's going on in the world that's going to affect you. We changed our stock a lot after that because it was oh, okay, I need more single person or two person games.
And so what's so interesting is that we all get told different things, and we all have different perspectives on their own on games and what is good and what you want and what you think other people would buy. The distributors, I talked to a few, and they all had the same consensus that they all really enjoyed the game that I didn't think would actually do well. They all really enjoyed the idea of the improv party game and to the extent the business pitching game.
Right.
They thought that those were great because they were even smaller in price. They're only 15 versus 20 and 25, and they feel like that was where the market was at the point. And so they wanted to have more conversations about those games, but those weren't even the games I thought. Those were the games I made just to verify that I could make a game, not that I thought it would be good. So the fact that they were honing in on that specifically was eye-opening.
Yeah, it is always really surprising to me what sells and what doesn't sell. One of the first rules in the retail business is basically don't buy things just because you like them, right? So I don't buy a lot of games that I know I would love because I know I love a certain type of game that other people may not like as much. And I imagine in publishing, that's even more difficult because it's hard to put that much effort into designing a game that you don't think you'd play.
Right.
Yeah, so it really is finding those little things, and that's why I like to look around. That's why I like to take chances. I've got a ton of other stores in the area. If I don't take chances, they'll catch up. But one thing that you did well is you had a sales sheet ready. Retailers live and die by sales sheets a lot because they tell us what your game is about and just the basic stuff like time of play and number of players, but also what a case quantity is. Is
the
there
financials,
a price break?
yeah.
Yeah. Is there a minimum ordered quantity that I have to hit? And you'd be surprised at how many publishers that I will talk with that haven't even done that homework yet. Or they've done a great sales sheet that they think is great, but they don't have any retail input on it, so they don't know what's actually needed.
What's needed to put, well, I mean, for example, I recently redid our sales sheet. I sent it over to you, and I didn't even think to like mention, oh yeah, our games are super tiny.
Yeah.
They're small, they're just card games.
Right.
And that completely changes your perspective of them as a retailer as to how you're going to stock them or promote them or how they fit into your own product mix.
Yeah.
That I had not considered because I'm just too close to the case, you know?
Yeah.
My nose is too close to the whetstone, whatever. So it's great getting feedback. It's great having community, networking. That's a lot that I got from the GAMA Expo. I met with other publishers before. I met with publishers that are my old friends that I don't get to see otherwise. I wish I'd go there this year and I could see them again, but unfortunately with the business, we have other priorities this year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, the year after, would be a great thing for us to reprioritize and focus on. But I think that again, if we do it, it's gonna be at a different strategy than what we had the first time. But that's with everybody. If you don't learn from your first attempts at things, what are you doing?
Right, and I think one of the, especially for people who get into retail or start a new business after they've worked in a corporate world, they started that business because they want to turn the ship fast. And you just can't do that in a big corporate world.
Nope.
So that's basically conventions in a nutshell, right? From a retailer's point of view and a man who owns a lot of different companies. So thanks for joining us, and maybe one day we'll see y'all at a conference. Say bye.
Hopefully. Bye, guys.
Bye.